Welcome to the Babbling Bookworm. Today I'm reviewing a novella, that's a short story, by the author Sherry Ficklin, The Gilded Cage. Now, when I first heard this, I immediately thought of that song, She's Only a Bird in a Gilded Cage. And believe it or not, that was popular right before this book takes place. This book takes place in the 1920s, which you can probably tell by this beautiful cover. It has a more historical 1920 flair with lots of gold and shiny. What I really like about it though is the canary. It's not a cute, sweet little songbird, but has more of an elegant, distinguished, I'd almost say modern, but it's not, feel to it. And that fits the main character, Macy, actually really well. Sherry Ficklin as an author has written many other books. She has paranormal, also some steampunk, which I actually did review one of her latest steampunk, The Extracted, part of the Lost Imperial series, which I can also highly recommend. And so I was kind of looking forward to getting into this one. This is a historical fiction and really well done. It starts with a main character. She's in a boarding school, Macy, and has been there for the last 3 years with the nuns. She's well liked, gets good grades. She's also one that likes to sneak out a little bit and go dancing. Not that the nuns know that. And we meet her when she gets a phone call from the family, an emergency that she has to leave this boarding school, which she's actually really enjoyed being in, and has to return home, which is a whole different world. She doesn't tell the nuns why, because it's a secret. She can't tell the family secrets. And when she returns home, she's found that the life that she knew before, which really wasn't very good because her father is a bootlegger and owns the Canary Club, which is a prestigious, well-known club. But in the last 3 years, things have gotten more difficult. There's a lot more other groups and other clubs that are trying to take over, and he's been having to he is in the crime scene and a very powerful man in there. Her brother has been pulled in and is now part of the family business. Her mother, you'll find out, has some other problems. And the family friend, kind of like an adopted son kind of figure, which Macy has always secretly kind of liked. He's not really a nice guy anymore and is more like the dog of her father and does some pretty awful things. This book, I especially enjoyed it because there was a nice flip-flop between her nun self, where she dreamed and she enjoyed living her supposed normal life for 3 years before being pulled back into the family business. This book is full of wonderful descriptions, 1920s, beautiful, wonderful time period. I would have liked to see a little bit more of that in the beginning of the book, but by the end, one is totally swamped in. The character herself is really neat. She starts out as the perfect little boarding school student, but not really, and then turns into this very strong, very capable, actually, character who kind of surprises herself and everybody else in it. This is the beginning of the first little book, about 60 pages long, so it's a really short, quick read, but enjoyable. And it's the beginning of a mini-series which leads up to a novel series, which I'm really looking forward to because the characters in here are very rich, have lots of background information that we don't know yet, and actually that's kind of missing, but since it's a novella, you know that there's not all going to be in there. And also in this novella, there's a lot of impactful scenes. It's not like a slow read that develops. You really go from one thing right to the next, and so a lot happens in here. Some of it I would have liked to see a little bit more well done because it jumped sometimes, but for 60 pages, great beginning, greatly packed. Wait to see where this goes next. And I can highly recommend it, especially for the upper YA. There is a small little scene in the beginning that's kind of harsh, doesn't go too descriptive or anything like this, but definitely for the upper YA, NA adults would love it too because I'm one and I liked it. So I hope you really enjoyed this. I also got, I'll show you really quickly, a nice little door hanger for the thing because when you're at Canary Club, you know these girls were not always good, and plus, after all that drinking, you need some quiet time. And then, which I'm really excited about, and I have a membership to the Canary Club, which means when the rest of my family's not looking, I'll put on that dress and go on over and party for a while. So I hope you enjoy the book. as much as I did, and I can't wait to see more from Sherry Ficklin. That's it today, and don't forget to feed your bookworm.